After weeks of much hype and then false reports that it had been stopped, the infamous caravan of Central American migrants has arrived at the U.S.-Mexico border. Hundreds of migrants have arrived at a makeshift settlement in Tijuana, just right across the international border from San Diego. Some may try to sneak across. Others plan to protect themselves at the point of entry and demand asylum in this country. Will it work? How does that work? Thomas Homan is Deputy Director of ICE, and he joins us tonight. Mr. Homan, thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
So we know that this group is coming. We've been watching on video for weeks now. Would it be possible, would it be legal to say you are not residents, you have no legal right to come in, no, you can't cross the border?
Well, there's a couple of things we do. First of all, if they're really seeking asylum,
yes,
they just pass through a safe nation of Mexico. So if it's a matter of leaving Guatemala, Honduras because they're in danger,
yes,
they went through Mexico, they could very easily claim asylum there. So I don't know if this is much claiming asylum as it is getting to the United States.
Right. Well, it's clearly a scam, obviously. We know that. But what can we do about it?
Well, Congress needs to take some action. We sent a list of legislative fixes and loopholes they need to address. For instance, the thresholds on claiming fear are so low. You know, nearly 90% of people that claim fear will get a reasonable fear yes from CIS because the thresholds are so low. Then they go see a judge. If they ever show up to see a judge, those approvals are much lower, like 30%. So we need to fix that. And we need to move those hearings up in front of an immigration judge so they have that formal hearing. Most of them do not get fear finding because they don't have a credible case to present, and they need to be quickly removed.
So how does it work? So anybody can just show up at the border without papers and say, I'm in fear for my life, or I'm afraid in some way, and then they're let into the United States?
Well, they're held, and they will be interviewed by Citizenship and Immigration Services. But that's another loophole. If they're a family unit, which most of these people are, we have a Ninth Circuit decision that says we can only detain family units up to 20 days. So, you know, they can't possibly have a hearing from a judge that quick, so they eventually be released.
Into the United States?
Yes. So we've asked Congress to look at that. It's called the Florida Settlement Agreement. We want them to address that legislatively. So if they close these loopholes, we can control the border. Look, last year we had a 45-year low in border crossings because this president's taken border security seriously. He has let ICE and the fine men and women of the Border Patrol do their jobs. But then the smugglers figure out these loopholes, and now they're using these loopholes against us. So Congress needs to act and close these loopholes so we can do our job and secure the border.
So as long as you claim fear, you cannot be immediately deported. You're released into the United States after.
If you claim fear and you get interviewed and you can pass a very low threshold and most of these people are being trained and taught what to say by groups down in Mexico, come in and make that claim, we cannot remove you. Those claims have to be adjudicated.
So we're basically helpless. I mean, we've hamstrung ourselves, it sounds like.
Again, if we fix the loopholes, we'd be in a lot better position. For instance, the adults we are detaining until they see a judge, but the family units are the big issue, and that's what most of these people are. They're the family units or the children, who we have certain court decisions that limit what we can do, how long we can detain them. That's what needs to be fixed, and we presented that to representatives on the Hill months ago. So if they really want to address this migration, they can simply help us and close these loopholes.
Yeah, I bet they don't want to. Mr. Homan, thank you for joining us. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.